Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be playing a little bit more historic Brawl with another mono-coloured commander from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Today, we're going to be playing with Light-Paws, Emperor's Voice, a Fox Advisor, 2 mana 2/2. Whenever an aura enters the battlefield under your control, if you cast it, you may search your library for an aura card with mana value less than or equal to the number of auras with a different name than each aura you control. Put that card onto the battlefield attached to Light-Paws, and then shuffle. So basically, you get 2 auras for the price of 1. And that price is whatever you paid for the first aura. So we're going to be playing some mono white auras today. And yeah, it's pretty... Oh, that's me. A pretty kind of all-in combo here. We really do want the Light-Paws to make it happen, but we can do it really early, which gives our opponent very little time to actually interact with us. And if they do have interaction, then we do have protection spells, things like Mana Tithe. Hopefully we get someone with that today. Karamitra's Blessing, giving hexproof and indestructible to enchanted creatures. God's Willing for protection, that kind of thing. So we can give protection or hexproof, or both, or indestructible to our Light-Paws to protect it. And the idea then is to make the largest Light-Paws and win the game. Other than that, I think the deck should mostly speak for itself. I've played a fair bit of this deck and it's pretty good. Obviously, you do end up losing quite a lot of the time when Light-Paws dies, but we do have some alternative ways of winning the game. We've got Hallowed Haunting, which makes spirits equal to the number of spirits. And it's got Archons in here, which makes 2/2s whenever enchantments enter the field, and things like that. You could put some top-end stuff in here, like Sigil of the Empty Throne, but I've chosen to cut the curve down as low as possible to make way for more auras and things like that, because you really only need 2 to 3 lands, maybe 3 or 4, I guess, to really make the deck work, which is why we've got 35 lands in here. Because we really don't need too many more. A couple of spell lands in here, like Sajiri's Shelter as well, though. But yeah, I think the deck should speak for itself, as I say. It's a lot of fun and relatively competitive. I don't know how it fares as far as budget's concerned, but I dare say it'll be pretty budget. Quite a lot of these cards could be replaced, and quite a lot of these cards you might already have in your collection, so yeah, I don't know. Either way, though, if you do enjoy today's video and you enjoy it so much that you want to hit that like button, I'd really appreciate that. Subscribe even more if you really, really, really enjoy it and, you know, the like button brought you great joy. If that happened, I would recommend subscribing because it's the best way to hit that like button in the future. But yeah, enjoy, and let's get to the gameplay. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Ruh-roh, game 1, and we might be up against a horrendously bad matchup. It's hard to say at the moment. We do have a little bit of protection, so we're going to be bringing out Light-Paws on turn 3. And turn 3 on the play could be quite good for us. It allows us to play around quite a fair bit of counter magic. So we're gonna keep this one. Baffling Ian's probably kind of bad here, and I'm just gonna. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna play my Emeria's Call in tapped here. We don't have too many lands, so we can't really rely on drawing additional ones. There's another protection spell. It's another way of destroying Niv Mizzet as well. So I could go with Michigo's Reign of Truth, but pretty much I would forfeit the entire game plan of this saga, so I think we'll wait on it a little while. Snarl, revealed, go. So we're going to play around Dwar's Disruption. Hopefully I don't actually have to pay for it, because that would really be awkward. And let's see how many burn spells they've got. I've got Fighter's 1 to protect the first time around, but then they can fire off another one again. So there's Fire Prophecy. It's actually a good one to fizzle because they don't get that redraw. So if they've got a dead card in their hand. Oh, they do get to redraw, sorry. Fighters 1's not hexproof. Me confused. Such wow. So yeah, they get to swap a card. Could have been that island. Who knows? Let's see if they got another answer. Land and Chromatic Lantern. And there you go. Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good. Target creature gains indestructible. So I think I'm just gonna go straight for all that glitters here. To try and get Light-Paws out of burn range. That'll help a great deal. And then we're gonna pick a card to put on Light-Paws that is good. Curse of Silence doesn't work for those who are curious about that kind of thing. We have +1/+2 and Vigilance. It enters during my main phase, so I get some lifelink. Right? If you cast it. Never mind. I'm gonna go Alseed here, play around Blue Bounce, because I think that might be the only way I lose now. Up to 5 mana for our opponent, and Gold Spam Dragon. Gonna get in. Alright. So hits us for 4 for a treasure. That allows them to play Niv Mizzet next turn. Will it allow them to actually kill me, though, is another question. I'm going to go Reign of Truth here, because this allows me... Actually gonna... The most damage on Light-Paws, but I gain life on Alseed. I think I want to just go Light-Paws, though. If they have a burn spell, then they can remove some of that power from the Reign of Truth, and I really wouldn't appreciate that. So now I can do Alseed Protection plus Blessing Protection. And then from there, I should be able to finish our opponent off. Like, worst case, if Alseed gets to live, I can do, like, Protection from red and swing through unblockable. So there's Niv Mizzet. Uh-huh. Swings for 4. Gonna allow it. 3 mana remaining. Probably can do something with Niv Mizzet here. Curiosity. Well, let's try and destroy Niv Mizzet, because we might lose if that resolves. So they can use that to kill the Alseed. If they have the answer to the Valorous Stance, I lose. Otherwise, I win if they don't have a bounce spell. Please don't have a bounce spell. Oh god. Oh god. Tap, land, go. Alright, we've just won. Wow. What an emotional rollercoaster that was. Yeah, this, I think I made 1 or 2 mistakes throughout that, but we still managed to get there on roughly the right game plan, I think. Yeah, I wouldn't have picked Sentinel's Mark, I don't think, had I read Addendum properly and realized it was a cast trigger. Probably would have gone for the, maybe the Rune of Sustenance, or even like the Sentinel's Mark. There's an aura in our deck that gives +2/+2 that would have been better, I think. Other than that, though, yeah, pretty lucky we got there, I think. Our opponent not having anything on 2, no bounce magic or counter magic there, really saved the day. So yeah, on to the next one. Alrighty, we're in, and we've got pretty much every single protection spell in our deck. I'm gonna keep it on the play. I think if we can get LC down, maybe we can start auraing that one up and protect that instead. I don't know. We're up against Adelaide's the Cinderwind. 3 mana 2/2 flying haste. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, wizards you control get +1/+1 until the end of the turn. So wizard tribal, a very aggressive kind of deck, and leading with Fairy Seer, scrying 1 to the top there. Kind of spooky. So I could play Light-Paws. If your opponent has an answer to it, I'm in trouble. I don't know if there's really a reason for me to test that theory right now, when I can actually just pass and then play it on turn 3 with God's Willing and Blessing. We're not in a massive rush, especially with no auras in our hand. Opponent goes Faithless Looting, perhaps looking for a land here. Or have they played one already? Nope, they have not played one. Oh no, they have played one. I'm a liar. Brain farting all over today. So discard 2. Lava Runner and what was that? Consider. Alright. And just passes. Interesting. Well, we got a Catilda. I think I am going to start with Light-Paws here. And pass. While we don't have any auras, I think we want to open ourselves up to the possibility of a top deck aura. Midnight Clock. We can also push through the Fairy Seer now with our Light-Paws, which has some value. Fragmentize. Yep, I'll kill that. While we can get away with it. Interesting, if they had a Spell Pierce there, would I actually pay for it? Because then I would drop my guard on my Light-Paws. It's going to hit them for 2 and pass. I think the long game is definitely in our favor. If I can lifelink up a Light-Paws or just get this Catilda down and get it doing its thing. So Baron wants to bounce. This only draws if a permanent's put into their hand. I'm just gonna, I think, let this go to my hand rather than use up a protection spell. Again, because I'm not really doing anything with my mana right now. So rather than use a card, I might as well just use my mana. If you cast or copy an instant spell, draw a card. Spooky. No 1 mana red spell. It's good to know. Alright, we finally got there. We got Skyblade's Boon. A little bit of flying. Let's start with... I want a redraw card, I think. So it's either Angelic Gift or Rune of Sustenance, I think. Let's go Rune of Sustenance. I'm looking for my land, basically, so that I can have double protection. Wasn't meant to be, though. Yeah, so you've kind of got to use the All That Glitters tutor really carefully, because once it's gone, it's really annoying to get back. So, looting, draws a card. So if I'm not confident that my Light-Paws can stick around, I don't want to stick all the glitters on it. Unless maybe I need the life and I know that I can get a hit in as well. Lots of random possibilities of things that could happen. So, I do have March of Otherworldly Light. I can exile cards out of my hand, kill it, and I'm not against doing that. Mostly because a lot of these cards probably won't see any use. I don't see Hallowed Haunting being relevant in this matchup, to be honest. Expect a big swing from our opponent. Could punish. I don't think I would get away with it. So we're just going to say, yep, 4 damage is fine. Life swings in our favor anyway. Our opponent doesn't gain life and we do, so my damage is better than theirs. There's a Mox Amber, that's nice. Alright, so it's at least a land drop. Of sorts. So I could do Fateful Absence on Emeritus. Let's swing for 3 first. I want to see if my mana's going to get tied up in protection spells before I make any decisions like that, since it's instant speed. I've also got to consider Adelaide's being a card that does a thing. These are all wizards that get quite large. So you would be a 4/4 when he came down. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hit the Emeritus. It's annoying that I'm giving our opponent something to do with their mana here. But, yeah, for something like this situation, let's do X4 kill Emeritus. Get rid of Hallowed Haunting. It's exile, right? It is exile. Let's get rid of Feat of Resistance, I think. You. Really don't want them digging their way into this game. So they actually don't even get the clue and they still lose their Emeritus, which is nice. Obviously, any aura off the top is really nice for us here. If they play the Adelaide's, a pacifism that removes all abilities from it. The Cowardice one would be nice. X4 Chadwick. That could be really bad for us as well. That can allow them to tap down Light-Paws a lot of the time. Take the 2. Dawn Evangel. Okay. Still waiting for those good cards to show up. I guess I'm gonna go Evangel. Swing for 3. Still no blocks from our opponent. Interestingly, no Adelaide's coming out of them either. They might be setting up for a kill with that card. Like, play Adelaide's, it taps down a creature. Yeah, Iteration, taps down a creature. You have to do all of that nonsense. Unexpected Windfall. Okay. Nothing I can do about this. Obviously, it would be better if they had an Adelaide's in play, but they've chosen not to play it at all. Ooh, that's a spooky card. If they can ever give that trample, it's going to do a lot of work. Alright, still whiffing on good cards. But we do get to play Catilda, I suppose. So it's another threat in the air. And I get to keep open Blessing God's Willing. Okay, well, that could be worse, honestly. I'm going to let them tap me down here. Because now I've got Catilda as an aura, and that can shoot her up whatever I need. There's no, like, hard protection or hexproof spell, though, that can stop Chadwick over there from constantly tapping me down. So, let's see how deep they want to go with the Adelaide's. I could be in a lot of trouble here. Yeah, it's hard to say if Emeritus was really the target. Maybe I should have saved it for the Gadwick. Not that I really knew it existed in the first place, but if we assume that I held off on the Gadwick, or held off on the Emeritus so that I could kill the Gadwick instead, I wouldn't be getting tapped down here, but they would have drawn a hell of a lot of cards. I think I'm still just kind of in that danger zone regardless. Yeah, this is a lot of wizards. Could I win on the swing back? I wonder if they attack me with everything here. I don't even know if they would. I think Fairy Seer would stay back, but I do have a tapping ability. Alright, Baffling End. Not an aura, notably. Getting quite annoying, these top decks. They really should be better than they are. I mean, who do you even get here anymore? I think you probably just get Gadwick. Stop them from tapping me down all the time. And then I could go a little bit greedy with my Light-Paws attack, but I could also use it defensively, which I think I will, now that Gadwick's out of the picture for good as well. Baffling End's not one that gives the creature back. See what Delver hits. Not an instant or sorcery, so probably a land drop, knowing how our opponent's deck will be. Well, it could be a land drop or a creature, I guess. Unlikely to be much more than that. Ooh, Cathartic Reunion, that's huge. Lots of discard, allows the Riel to draw cards there for them. Not really missing out on much at that stage. So I can get my Light-Paws up to 5. They've got a long way to go as far as killing me is concerned. But the deck can definitely do it. So let's see, I'm gonna go to blocks. Riel can come back real easy. Who am I actually concerned about? I know that they're pumping out. I know that they can do it, at least, so everything's got an extra additional power. So I think I'm Light-Pawsing and then doing Karamitra's Blessing. It's just how I want to go about doing it. I think I'll block there. Block here. Block. I think that'll be about it. Do that. See what they want to do. I imagine they'll do nothing. I think I'll start by sacking the Alseed for protection. A Braid. So I give protection from red, forcing them to do something else. Naru Meha, Lord effects, and copies a Braid. So now I Karamitra's Blessing. Now Riel is dying. Then the iteration, pump up again. They've got 1 mana to spend. I can still do a God's Willing. They've got a Lightning Bolt. So that bolt was going at my Light-Paws, so protection from red again. Land to the bottom. Alright. So can't touch my Light-Paws anymore. They could kill my Dawn Evangel, or they could just hit me in the face. I'm gaining 5 here. I'll get protection from blue as well. Why not? Nothing on their end is dying, but they can't stop me from attacking. And Catilda is coming down and doing a thing. Let's see, what am I at? -8 plus 5. Still dead. Yeah, so holding off on the Adelays until they could just play their entire hand out, I guess. Pretty good hand for them. We missed like 19,000 land drops that could have won us the game there. Like if I just got my Light-Paws any bigger, that would be nice. Our backswing with Catilda giving +X equal to number of enchantments would be really nice. I'd stick that on Catilda, get all the glitters and swing through with my lifelink. And I've got to imagine that's pretty much lethal. So if I don't die there, I think I win on the swing back, and yeah. I'm assuming these cards were bad because they didn't continue to play them, so yeah, a bit of a sad loss there, but definitely a winnable matchup nonetheless. On to the next one. Alright, we're up against Tatsunari Toad Rider on the play with a Curse of Silence. What mana are you? You're 3, right? Yeah, 3, so I'm going to make it 5 mana. Yeah, I guess this hand could work. It's got no protection though, which makes it a little bit awkward, but I don't think you really mull a Curse of Silence hand when your opponent's commander's kind of part of their game plan. So, Tatsunari Toad Rider. And now it's taxed in 5 mana. We'll read what it does. 3 mana, 3/3. When you cast an enchantment spell... Oop, hang on. Am I playing Light-Paws? I think I will. You might die, but we're going to go for it. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, if you don't control a legendary creature called Kami, create Kami. 3/3 black and green frog creature token. I'm a frog now. With whenever you cast an enchantment spell, each opponent gets drained for 1. And then 2 mana, target frog you control can't be blocked except by creatures with flying or reach. My hand is just kind of bad. I think I'll just still suit up on Light-Paws. I can give protection from blue later down the line with a couple of cards that I've got. So let's just suit up Light-Paws nonetheless. Even though it doesn't have an actual ability, it's still a creature, and I'm going to make our opponent use 2 removal spells on it. It would be nice to get, like, Danitha down, or maybe even Ranger Captain. That could get me Alseed. Alseed then gives protection from blue. Got a Sram instead, alright, so skipped land drops. Love them. Really love skipping land drops. Tail's End for our opponent. It's a good one to get rid of, but good card to have countered as well for our opponent. Alright, well, what else am I supposed to do? Spectral Steel. I think I might honestly just scoop if it dies. I won't scoop to a negate though. So much counter hate for our opponent in their enchantment deck. Oops. 4 mana. 1 mana away from their commander. They've got Toski. I can block Toski. I can also kill Toski. So if they do play Tatsunari, I'm gonna sack my Curse of Silence at this point. Let's get rid of Toski while their million counters are down. Trade 1 mana for 4 mana. Alright, do you have your land? Thought sees me. I mean, have at it. I can't play any of these cards, but you knew that. I can't play that one either. What a game. Alright, our opponent's at 7. We've almost killed them. Tap land for our opponents, so no Tatsunari there either. And thank Christ for that, we've managed to arrive at a victory point. Let's go Ranger Captain. I don't want to throw Danither out there so easily when I can get Dwari's Disruptioned. Hard counter with Wash Away. Take 3. You're at 4 now. Face of Divinity threatens lethal, although they've got the Tatsunari. Again, I am going to sack my Curse of Silence. Meat Hook X2. Sure. To the command zone. And then I get a little token. Their creatures enter tapped. And let's see. Exile Spectral Steel. Return another aura from your graveyard to your hand. So I could just get Valor of the Worthy. I guess that's okay. Using a board wipe to kill one creature, though, says quite a fair bit. I'm kind of into the idea of just playing Light-Paws here, because I don't think they've got any more removal. Tatsunari. I will definitely crack the Curse of Silence here to give myself every possible opportunity to kill our opponent. And let's see. Should be able to do it, right? Face of Divinity is an extra little bit of damage there. Stick it on the token. It's got a Swan Song giving me a 2/2 that I'll use to kill them as well. So they're at 1, threatening lethal. They need that board wipe they just used. There's a Honden, that makes a 3/3. Even with the drain, that's not going to be enough. And yeah, their counters counted for nothing. Cool, what a weird, strange game. But yeah, it just goes to show, if you're going to use a counterspell deck, you've got to have something to back it up. And our opponent didn't have that. So yeah, the counterspells really just worked against them in that matchup there. Sweet, on to the next one. Oh dear, we're up against Burn Spell Tribal. How do we fare in Burn Spell Tribal? Well, on turn 4 I could play Light-Paws with Valorous Stance up, which I think would be good, because they're going to play their Chandra unless they've got a Mana Rock, so they could play it on turn 3. And we've got alternative creatures to play in the meantime, so I'm going to give this one a shot. All we have to do in this matchup is get out of burn range. If we can do that, any creature that we actually suit up will probably win us the game. Glaring Aegis, a card that does help us get out of burn range. So if our opponent doesn't kill this Mystic, I can send it up to 5 toughness, and our opponent's going to have a lot of trouble with that. So I'd love to see them play like a Mana Rock here that stops them from having red. Lightning Strike. Alright. So yeah, I think they're at least going to get 2 for 1 here. We're going to go Light-Paws, Glaring Aegis, stick 3 toughness up to 5 here, and then go and get another Aura. And let's see, what's the most I can put on? I think it's just +1/+1. Yeah. So let's do +1/+1 and give me a token. Alright, it's not impossible for our opponent to deal 6 to Light-Paws. It probably is impossible further on to do much more than that, though. So now I can go Conviction. One of the most fun cards in our deck, for sure. Up to a 5/9. And yeah, I'm just going to stick all that glitters on it and our opponent's dead. Really lost for things to do once this happens. There is a Chaos Warp. I can't remember if it's Exile or Destroy. If it's Exile, it gets around Valorous Stance. If it isn't, then that is a card we can play around. But yeah, that's about it, really, as far as tall removal is concerned for our opponent. Yeah, pretty easy matchup, I guess, once our opponent taps out of their burn, which they shouldn't have done. I'm assuming that they had burn in their hand. They really should never let Light-Paws get anything attached to it, so yeah, sweet, on to the next one. Alright, on the play against Feather the Redeemed. I've played this matchup before, and it didn't go in my favour because our opponent was a little bit faster, but we're on the play now, and we have the protection spell to play Light-Paws on 2 with extra protection down the line, so I think this is a hand that could beat our opponent's deck. Feather the Redeemed, 3 mana 3/4. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a creature you control, exile that card instead of putting it into your graveyard as it resolves. If you do, return it to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. Kind of a similar style to... Oh, game's crashed. Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering. Open beta. Open beta game. Magic the Gathering. So yeah, we're going to play our dog. Oh, sorry, I've just got to install a little update, apparently. Thanks. Fantastic. Can I get back into the game? I played a card and the game crashed. Wizards, you've got so much money. Hire some more staff, please. Just hire some more staff. Our opponent's going to think I'm roping them now, but it's actually the game just being bad. Alright, I didn't even manage to play my Selfless Savior, so now I have played my Selfless Savior. Lumamancer can get quite large. And we've got another protection spell, which is really nice for us, so... There's Light-Paws. Realistically, I don't expect to see more than one removal spell here, so the Savior's protecting us in that fashion. They could have, like, Lightning Bolt, Swords to Plowshares, but... Doesn't seem to be. Young Peasy could certainly help them a little bit. In terms of... Let me think about this a second. Chat. I think we're going to go all that glitters and stick flying on it. I think. It can help them with blockers, but as soon as I give flying, it's not going to help them. So yeah, I think I want to go... I don't want to go Angelic Gift, actually. There's a better Angelic Gift. It's this Skyblade's Boon. There we go. Well, I guess it's not strictly better. You could do the other one for the card draw. This one gives +1/+1. I want to end this game quickly. And I think with my solid footing in card 2 shell, we'll be able to do that. Unless our opponent has Exile. Yep, no blocks. Destroy target Planeswalker. Well, we will give it indestructible. No longer destroyed. Gives me a clue token to play around with. Yeah, got to be aware of those kind of cards. There's Danny. I'm going to leave open Karamitra's Blessing, and we're just going to go for... As long as it has Vigilance, it does not have Vigilance. It will have Vigilance with this, though. I guess I could have gone Solid Footing and gotten Sentinel's Eyes. That would have given it Vigilance. Yeah. I'm going to leave open Karamitra's Blessing here so that our opponent needs 2 removal spells. They already used 1, so it's unlikely they'll have another. And that's the game. Alright guys, well that is going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and if you have, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this in the future. We'll be back later on with, I think we'll be doing some alchemy. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, more Historic Brawl to follow for sure, and if you do enjoy Historic Brawl, this is a great place to check it out. And yeah, like and subscribe if you do enjoy that kind of thing. Take care, and peace.